Guys.
Bart?
Good afternoon, Bart. It's good to see you again.
Yes.
Yeah,
nice
good
to see you.
afternoon to you guys as well. You know, when you came up with this idea of Aviation Day, I thought, wow, that's awesome. We've never done it before, though, have we?
You know, I'm not sure if we've had an aviation day. We've had open houses, open airport, but an aviation day is something that highlights not only the airport, but the different aviation careers, so that the community can come in and take a look at the asset that they have, and look at the airplanes along the way. So it should be a fun day. We're looking for a nice warm day.
It will
sure.
be warm,
Yes.
John is a retired airline pilot and pilot of many other types of airplanes. And that is what we're hearing really worldwide, the shortage of people interested in aviation careers.
Yeah, and the purpose of this event that we've talked about, Juan and I and the Advisor Council, was to make the airport known to the folks what goes on out here, but the opportunities that it presents for especially the youngsters that are interested in aviation. And that's why this weekend, this Saturday, will be an opportunity to get up close and personal with the pilots of these various aircraft that will be outside their airplanes, but also to talk about some of the possible careers in aviation. So we're trying to market the airport, so to speak, but introducing a lot of people to aviation, just what goes on out there.
Well, actually, Juan's a pilot too, so I'm curious, at what age were you guys, did you decide that, yeah, I want to fly, and really for a career?
John?
Well, my first flying lesson was a few days after I graduated from college, my 4-year degree. So it was a little bit of a late start, and oddly enough, my dad was a commercial airline pilot for 35 years.
No kidding.
For the old Eastern Airlines.
Huh.
And so you would think I would naturally fall in those footsteps, but it didn't occur that way right away. But my brother and I started the same time flying lessons
That's
on
right.
Long Island, New York. So
Yeah, your brother was a pilot too.
yes, he was.
Juan, did you fly in the military?
I did. I flew in the military, but when I was 12, I was going to the dentist, and the dentist was a pilot. And so he had a flying magazine, and I was waiting to go in, and I started reading the magazine, and it's like, hey, that's what I want to do for a living. So that's when I started thinking I wanted to be a pilot. I didn't really start flying until I turned 16. And I went on to college and then in the military.
Well, I never wanted to be a pilot. I just thought the ground, that's where I prefer to be. But different things for different people. I do like to fly, and I've flown with you in T6.
Yes, we have flown in a T6 many years ago, and you did great.
Well, I really didn't do anything. I
Yeah.
just sat there and closed my eyes for most of it.
Well, when we were in formation, and you have another aircraft 15 feet from you, it's doggone close. It's an
It was
eye-opener,
amazing. I
but-
felt like a blue angel.
Yeah. Well,
So there are going to be some really cool planes and things to see this Saturday. So why don't you guys take us through what we're going to see?
Well, this aircraft is one of our more notable aircraft that will be there. It's the Fairchild Republic A10 Warthog, also known as the Thunderbolt. This airplane was first produced around 1972 and served in the Iraq, Afghanistan, Kuwait theater of operations during Desert Storm. It's notable because it was known as a tank buster. It was a ground attack aircraft. The aircraft is capable of not only firing rockets, but it has a unique cannon on the front of the nose there that can fire between 3,900 and 4,200 rounds per minute.
Oh my.
We're talking 50 to 75 rounds per second almost coming out of that.
Is that the
nose.
thing under the nose?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a huge, it's almost like a Gatling gun, a machine gun, but this was a tank buster on the ground, and it served us real well during the war. This aircraft will be coming from Selfridge Air National Guard Base in Mount Clemens, where they still maintain a fleet of those over there.
So the pilot has to fly pretty low in order to...
Yes, it was
Yeah.
a ground attack aircraft, low level. Yeah. The interesting thing about if the underside of the aircraft has a canopy that's painted on the bottom of it, so the enemy couldn't tell on the ground which side was up as the aircraft came towards them. So
Awesome.
it's
That'll
a
be
very
good.
unique aircraft. This aircraft is a Aerobota Chody Czechoslovakian aircraft. It's a training aircraft that was prominent during the Cold War. The Russians, the Syrians, the Libyan Air Force used this aircraft to train their pilots, and the Soviet Union, of course. And a friend of mine has one in Howell, Michigan, and he's coming in with another fellow that flies one also. So they'll make some formation passes with these two aircraft. This aircraft first appeared on the scene about 1968, and it was first manufactured in Czechoslovakia, which became the Czech Republic, which is now Slovakia, but that's where the aircraft was first manufactured. And there's several of them in the United States now.
Huh. It looks familiar. Does it have a sister to any U.S. military aircraft?
Not really, but the profile of it is similar to a lot of our military aircraft, and a lot of these have fallen into civilian hands, or they're on the market to be bought. And these are flown by civilian pilots, usually in some paint scheme from that era. So we'll have two of these there at the field.
Sweet.
And then, of course, my favorite, the North American T6, which I operated one for almost 20 years. My brother has one. He will be part of the display. He'll have his aircraft here, so I share in that aircraft now. But we'll have four of these aircraft there. When they arrive at about 11 a.m. on Saturday, they will make a few formation passes. They'll fly over downtown, make some smoke and noise, and that big round radial engine there will wake everybody up. This aircraft was manufactured primarily prior to and during World War II. It trained most of our military pilots in the World War II Korean conflict era. So there's still a few hundred of these aircraft around. They made about 17,000 of these airplanes.
And still flying, they're 70, 80, 90 years old.
Yeah, somebody asked me, well, God, the aircraft's 80 years old. Is it safe? And I says, well, how do you think it got to be so old? It wasn't safe, right? So,
if it was going to fall apart, it would have happened decades ago.
I think this one would be one of our big draws. It's the C-47 aircraft, manufactured by Douglas Aircraft Company. This paint job replicates D-Day, Normandy, of June 6, 1944, as paratroopers were dropped behind the enemy lines in France prior to the D-Day invasion. That's what the striping is on the aircraft, the white stripes. So the friendly aircraft could be identified easily from the ground, from the enemy aircraft, of which there were few in the air on D-Day, but this aircraft is pretty much the exact paint job of the aircraft that will be here on Saturday.
Is this at the Yankee Air Museum?
This is the Yankee Air Museum's aircraft, and they will be offering rides in the aircraft also. So this aircraft will be on display also. The aircraft is familiar with, this became a prominent airliner during the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. That was the civilian version of the aircraft. The military identifies it as a C-47. We in the civilian way of life, we call it the Douglas DC-3.
Yes, and I've ridden in this, and it's short of luxurious, but it's an unbelievable experience, and that there will be rides available on Saturday.
That's correct.
That's correct.
Ron, what are some of the displays, the static displays that will be on the grounds?
We're going to have, the airport's going to have our own table. We'll be giving tours of the control tower for those that want to take 61 steps to the top. There's no elevators to the control tower. And we've got a drone manufacturer that's going to be bringing their aircraft. It'll be a nice thing to see. The Air Force is bringing a virtual reality trailer so that everyone can experience virtual reality, putting on the goggles and seeing what that's like. The Army's bringing in a wall that individuals who want to do can climb up the wall. So that should be really fun. It's an event that's geared for the whole family. So you have things for the kids as well as the adults. There'll be helicopter rides as well for those inclined to go up on a helicopter.
And all the things that help when there's a crowd of people, like refreshments, food, entertainment.
Yep, there's going to be the restaurant will be open. There will be a food truck available, as well as we'll have water bottles available depending on the temperature. So we're expecting a good crowd. We're not quite sure how many individuals will show up. Obviously, this is the first time we're holding the event, but we're expecting a good crowd. It should be a fun time from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. on Saturday.
And best of all, the cost?
It's free, yeah. Now, if you do want to take a ride, those are going to cost you. The C-47 ride will be $199, I believe. And the helicopter rides will be $35.
Yeah, not only do cars use gas, which, the price has gone up, that's happened to air fuel as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Yeah, fuel is, it's considerably more than your car fuel. And that's because there's about 1% of the total fuel manufactured in the United States or refined in the United States goes to aviation. That's a small percentage. It's almost a specialty item, so that increases the cost. And it's only produced really by one refinery in the United States, and that's located in the Philadelphia area. So you have those transportation costs across the country to get it from east to west. So, yeah.
Sounds like a great day you have planned this Saturday at Jackson County Airport, Reynolds Field. Thanks for putting this on.
Well, thank you for having us
Thank
again,
you,
Bart.
yes.
It's always good to see you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
As well, great to see both of you. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Juan Zapata is the manager of the airport, and John Feldberry is the chair of the Jackson County Airport Board. We've got